Welcome back to another episode of Helix Amps Revisited. Today we are taking another close look at the amazing Cali Rectifier amplifier model that we have in the Helix. This is a killer amp model. This is a killer model of a Mesa Boogie dual rectifier amp. I believe that this is based off channel 3 on the modern setting, if I'm not mistaken. And I gotta say, there's some really cool tones hidden within this. I have heard some people say that they couldn't get a good tone out of it. And there's a couple things that I like to do with it that I'll show you today that I find make this sound really great. So we're going to be looking at a single snapshot preset today. And this particular snapshot is very, very similar to one of the snapshots from my Rectifier Ultimate preset that's available on the Line 6 marketplace, which is going to be a multi-snapshot, full-featured preset that includes a full array of effects as well. So if you're looking for a really full-featured, gig-ready, studio-ready preset with some effects and some sweeteners on it, you can take a look at the link below that I will have to the Line 6 Marketplace where you can grab a copy of my Cali Rectifier Ultimate preset. Later in the video, I'm going to show you a little demo video of me utilizing the various snapshots from that preset in a mix. So this preset I'm going to give you today is going to be available for free at my website at the link below, and there'll also be a link, as I mentioned, to the full-blown preset. So without further ado, let's dive right in, take a look, and see exactly what I did to get this Cali Rectifier model sounding, in my opinion, as good as it can be. All right, so here we are over in HX Edit. I'm utilizing my Line 6 Helix today. Here we have a very basic preset here. Now, this will work for both Helix and HX Stomp. The full-blown Line 6 Marketplace Cali Rectifier preset will only work for Helix. It's not going to be compatible with HX Stomp simply because it's going to contain far too many blocks, as I mentioned before. It's going to be a full-featured preset. It's going to have a lot of effects and multi-snapshots with it. But we will take a look at this today, and you HX Stomp users are welcome to grab the free preset here. So starting at the end of the chain, as per usual, I'm utilizing my LA Studio comp, just set for very little gain reduction. It's more as a sweetener, a little bit of glue to our tone, and you'll notice here I have a peak reduction of 4.5 and a gain of 5. Moving on to our parametric EQ block, as I oftentimes use it, it's really only being used here for low and high cut. And like I always mention, a lot of people say, well, why not just use the low and high cut block? I like to have that parametric EQ in there just in case I want to make a tweak. Maybe I'm somewhere where I want to fine tune this preset a little bit, and I have that there. I don't have to switch out blocks. But I do have the low cut set at 100 hertz, high cut set at 8 kilohertz. And I found with this particular amp model, I do like to go a little lower on the high cut, and it just kind of helps to tame some of the harshness that this amp model can have. But some folks don't like it that low, and you can easily roll that up to whatever suits you. But I kind of liked it here at this 8 kilohertz setting. I've thrown on a dynamic ambience reverb just so that things don't sound so bone dry, but this is just to give us a little bit of a room sound to it. Room size at 12 meters, mix at 35%, the shape late 100 setting, which is kind of where I usually like it. My little secret weapon, I call it, but something I really like to add into most presets. I'm using it very subtly here, low and high shelf, low frequency and high frequency, both set to 650 hertz, minus 1 dB on all the frequencies below 650, and plus 1 to all the frequencies above. Very subtle, but you're going to notice it's going to make a little bit of a difference here to just polish things up so this works better, both, like I said, in the studio or live. As far as a cab goes, I really like the sound of this 112 Cali extension cab. It sounds just killer to my ear. I really like the way it sounded on this. And I'm using maybe a mic a lot of folks wouldn't think of using, which is the 4038 Ribbon. Very dark and boomy sounding mic if not used properly, but the way I'm counteracting that is I'm pulling it back 5 inches. I also have it on the cap edge. Low and high cut are off here since I've got those included over here in my parametric EQ block. So I was really liking these settings here. And on the amp itself, we have the drive set at 6, bass at 1.5, mid at 6.8, treble at 5.5, presence at 5, channel volume at 7.4, master at 3, sag at 2, hum at 2.7, ripple at 5, bias at 6, and bias X at 4.8. So let's do this. Let's disengage all of our kind of little sweetening models, and we'll go with just with the amp and cab. I'm using my Vigier GV Wood with P90 pickups. I was really liking the way this sounded with this particular model. So this is just the amp and the cab as I've chosen the settings. Really liking that big fat pick attack. Even if I go to the neck pickup. All right, so let's do this. Let's come to the end of the chain. You're going to notice an extremely subtle difference. If you notice anything at all, it's going to be almost more of a feel thing by adding this LA Studio comp in. It's maybe adding half a dB to a dB of gain reduction, so very, very little. But I'm really liking what it does. Let's bring in our low and our high cuts. Darkens it up a little bit, but we're going to counteract that a little bit with our low and high shelf EQ in just a moment. Bring in our dynamic ambience. Doing what it should, adding a little bit of ambience and bringing a little bit of depth to the sound, I find. All right, so bringing in this final piece of the puzzle, the low and high shelf EQ. If you notice that, but it just restores some of the brightness, but in a smooth manner, and gets rid of just a hair of maybe mud and bottom end that we would maybe have some problems with in a mix, either live or in the studio. So there you have the single snapshot free preset. I hope you guys enjoy that. As I mentioned already, the link is below to that on my website. You can grab it from there. But if you are interested in a more full-featured preset, as I mentioned, I have the RectiFire Ultimate preset available at the Line 6 Marketplace at the link below. And I'd like to let you hear a demo video now of how the various snapshots from that preset work together in a mix. right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy the free preset. If you're so inclined, go grab a copy of the full-blown preset. It helps me to keep doing these videos and hopefully helping a lot of folks. I get a lot of messages where folks are thanking me for helping them get the most out of their Helix, and it's always great to hear those messages. So grabbing some presets from the marketplace does help to support my channel and help me to keep being able to do what I do here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sharing your time with me. Please like the video, share it with anybody you think would get some use or enjoyment of watching it, and also please subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I'll be back really soon with some more. Thank you guys again so much for sharing your time with me. Ciao for now.